Chapter 5. The Future of Twitter. Researchers from MIT released a study in early 2018 which looked at the primary ways in which false information was spread throughout the Internet. Their primary takeaway is that misinformation is likely to spread about 6 times as quickly as true information. From a marketing perspective, this can make it easy to wonder if there is enough fake information already floating around on Twitter to make the possibility of getting any new information out there extremely difficult. Luckily, it will still remain possible to make a profit from Twitter, as long as you keep the following tips in mind. Before deploying a new strategy, it is important to understand the current state of Twitter to avoid making common mistakes while you still have time to pivot your primary strategy. Twitter is without a doubt one of the most commonly used platforms by advertisers looking to get the word out about their products or services. Unfortunately, Twitter has been dealing with a number of issues lately that need to be dealt with effectively in order to ensure the process is as effective as possible. Perhaps the biggest issue at the moment is the bots which have taken over in an aggressive way. In fact, about 15% of all the users on Twitter are currently bots. These bots automatically tweet or respond to individuals who use specific words or phrases in their own tweets. While a well-designed bot can be a boon to your brand, using one that is even a little off the mark is going to cause issues these days, as so many people are aggressively fed up with them that even the hint of one is enough to make them swear off your brand completely. As Twitter is hardly the leader when it comes to monthly users, the fact that 15% of its registered users are actually bots cuts down on the number of potential people you will reach with any marketing content, which is why it is important to adjust your marketing projections accordingly. Bots also make it difficult for a real message to get through, as they commonly carry links that claim to go in one direction, while in reality sending those who click them someplace far less safe. In fact, studies show that about 60% of all links tweeted out on a given day are done automatically, as opposed to by human beings. While Twitter is making an effort to crack down on bots, many people remain skeptical that this will ultimately end up doing much good in the long run, as there is so much false information being regularly spread on the platform. This is because, while it may well be possible to stop bots from spreading false news on the platform, stopping real people from doing the same thing is much more difficult. Thus, the Twitter marketing strategy of the future will need to look for ways to counteract the spread of bots, the middling user growth, and the deliberate spread of false information by real people. While it may be difficult, like any strategy, it can be used successfully if you take the time to focus on ways to play its strengths while minimizing its weaknesses. Be more direct. With two-way Twitter communication becoming more and more common, it is becoming an increasingly normal thing for a potential customer to tweet at even a mid-sized brand with a question that isn't readily available on their site and expect a response. While it might seem like a waste to answer individual questions in this way, the truth is, it is actually a great way to invest in the long-term growth of your business. The fact of the matter is that sometimes individual customers need some extra attention, and giving it to them could really help transform them into true supporters of your brand. If you do this regularly enough, then you are likely to develop a reputation as a brand that really cares about its customers, which is one of Twitter's greatest strengths. In fact, 85% of Twitter users believe that it is important for a brand to provide customer service on Twitter. Being responsive on Twitter adds a level of transparency to a given brand that helps it seem more approachable and helpful. And this trend is only going to continue into the future. A great example of why this is the case is Dove, which increased its overall market sentiment score by nearly 5% in just 3 months by doing nothing more than taking a more active response to potential customers on Twitter. While the right type of service to provide on Twitter is going to vary by company, there are a variety of strategies you can try in order to generate a better response. For starters, it is important to always request a DM when sensitive information needs to be discussed.